Hi, this is Dylan Dupuy from bulldodger.blogspot.com, and it is Monday, February 16th, 2009. This is my first video that I'm doing right now, so if there are some technical issues, they're all accidental. Hopefully I can get them all worked out in the future. But what I'm going to do is start out by giving my current market outlook by looking at some of the major indexes, and then I'm going to run through a couple of trading ideas for you. So, first one I'm going to talk about is the Dow Jones. So right here what we have is a decreasing line of diagonal resistance coming down here, and a horizontal support line right here that may or may not have been broken on. It depends on where you exactly draw your support. Right now I'm still holding that support is holding. If we zoom in on a 30-second chart, what we are seeing on the short-term chart is an inverted head and shoulders. We have a left shoulder forming here, a head forming in this area here, and then a right shoulder that is still in the process of forming. So what I am anticipating is a bounce up from the current level that I closed on Friday, move through this resistance line, which acted as previous support, and a move up really to a point where this downward resistance line is going to meet the price. If we look at the S&P 500, just give this a second to download, we're seeing a very similar pattern where we're having, in this one we have a diagonal support line, a diagonal resistance line up here, and again we have an inverted head and shoulders with a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder forming. So if this area of resistance right here that I just highlighted there gets broken, most likely tomorrow, I'm anticipating a run up to this level of resistance here, which should be very close to where this diagonal resistance is going to meet this horizontal resistance here. Looking at the NASDAQ, we're seeing roughly a similar pattern, kind of a weak left shoulder here, a head, and a weak right shoulder here. Now this is the strongest out of the three indexes, and you can really see this if you move out to the day charts and compare this daily chart to the others. I won't go and look at the daily for the S&P, but we have a diagonal resistance, or I'm sorry, diagonal support, diagonal resistance, and these two are converging and essentially creating a pressure squeeze on the market. And what I'm anticipating is over the next day or so, a run up to this resistance here, and then we'll really see who is going to take control of the market. And I think it's really going to depend on what the market thinks of the stimulus package as it gets voted on and more details are reviewed or are revealed to the general public. So that's really going to be what's going to act as the catalyst to get this market moving in one direction or the other and really break out of this trading range that it's in right now. Just a couple of trading ideas for you. I'm going to start with a Barrick Gold, ABX. And in this stock we have a symmetrical triangle forming where we have diagonal support converging with diagonal resistance. And I'm anticipating a breakout within the first 1 or 2 trading days of this week. And again, because this is a gold stock, it's going to really depend on how the market responds to the stimulus package. So I'm anticipating a breakout in one direction or the other, and depending on which direction it breaks out of, I'm going to be playing the market to that side. So if it goes down, I'm obviously going to be shorting this. If it goes up, I'm going to be long. In either direction, I'm expecting a move of about 6 points in either direction once it breaks above or below resistance or support. So a breakdown would bring us down to these levels. A break up, I'm anticipating about 43 or so. Another stock that I have a current interest in, based on a very similar pattern, is ESL. This has horizontal support, or I'm sorry, horizontal resistance right here at around 38.50 or so. I looked on Friday like it was going to break out of this symmetrical triangle, but towards the end of the day it pulled back, and that was a little annoying because I really would have liked to have seen this one break out. But we will see how this responds over the next 2 days or so. Another stock that I am also interested in is WCC. This is a stock that I have a long outlook on, whereas the first two were mixed, and first two stocks you can really take a position depending on which way it breaks out. This stock I am purely long on. So there's horizontal resistance here, diagonal support here, and the stock recently is making a new higher low, and it kind of followed through on Friday with that, even though this is really light volume. But I'm anticipating this move upward to continue, so I'm going to be looking to enter this stock very early on Tuesday when trading resumes. Another stock I'm looking at, ARLP. This is an ascending triangle that's forming in this stock, and I'm long in this stock. I'm looking to get into this stock on a break above 33.50, and this is another one of those stocks that could break out at any time. As you'll see with a lot of these patterns, there's this kind of converging sense of that's taking place, and I think it's really going to be dependent on the market's view of the stimulus package with which way all these are going to break out. Here's CLF. This is an energy company. This one I'm also bullish on, like WCC. It's forming kind of similar pattern where it made a higher low and then followed through on Friday. Similar to other stocks like LP&T, where we had a higher low followed by a follow through on Friday, and this one, I guess you could interpret this as an ascending triangle loosely. I'm expecting about a 25 or 20% move once it breaks above this line. Whether it breaks up and retraces then goes higher, that's a different story. So this one I really like just based on the amount of volume that we have on Friday. I'm going to take a look at a couple of short ideas that I have for you. AYE, Allegheny Energy. This one had a sharp down move early in the week, probably based on earnings. I haven't looked, but if I had to guess, that's what it is. Followed by a kind of consolidation here, and this I'm interpreting as a bear flag pattern, kind of moving in that direction. And I was close to getting this one on Friday. I decided not to. I decided to give it another day to maybe potentially move higher by another couple points or so. And I'm really looking for this one to consolidate for a day or two and then break down. The movement I'm expecting is the difference between this move here of about, we'll go in the middle, about 28, up from 36, so about 8 points. So that would put us down around 22, which would be roughly consistent with the low back here that we hit in October. Another stock that I am also short on is Sunoco. This stock, we're seeing a very similar pattern, bear flag forming. We broke down here earlier in the week, and it's consolidating here. I'm expecting this to continue its move down. Conservative estimate of price movement would be about $4. More aggressive would be about $7. So, well, about $9 actually. So I'm really expecting this one to come down and test down here around 31 or so. And finally, I'll give you ESRX, which is very similar to the first two that I showed you. This one could really move in either direction. We have converging diagonal resistance and support. This one is up near the resistance line. I've actually made some good jing swing trading this over the past couple months. Look for this. If it doesn't break out here within the next 1 or 2 days, look for this one to retrace back to 51. In which case you can probably short this stock or get into a put option. Look for 51 to then hold, and then for this to bounce back higher. So those are a couple of my trading ideas. Thank you very much. Once again, this is bulldodger.blogspot.com. Please feel free to visit me and leave me any comments or questions that you may have. Thank you.